Hello, good morning. How is everyone doing? Today we have another exciting stream for Worldbreakers, which is a new card game designed by Elli. Hey Elli, how you doing?
Hey Nelson, thanks for having me.
Of course. So we are playing through the draft variant of Worldbreakers. So Worldbreakers is a head-to-head card game. I would call it a living card game that is hitting Kickstarter here in just 9 days, 8 days. Just a
Yeah, March 1st.
just a little bit over a week. So that's really exciting. I'm sure that this is crunch time for you, right?
Yes, there's a lot going on. With that said, spending the Sunday morning with you is pretty exciting. I'm happy about that.
Well, I'm happy to have you here. I'm excited to play the game again. So if you were not able to join our last stream, we played through where Ellie taught me the game, and we went through. I was playing Marco Polo. And who were you playing again? I forgot.
I was playing Cthulhu.
That's right, Cthulhu.
hmm
And so that was an epic battle. So I'm excited for the rematch today, and we're gonna be doing the draft variant. So do you want to explain kind of how the draft variant works?
Yeah, certainly. And I will also briefly mention that Worldbreakers has a solo campaign. So if you're interested in playing solo, there's that option as well. And you can try the first of the campaign on Tabletop Simulator.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey
And
Starry, hey Josh, hey Trap It. We are up and at 'em early today. Thanks for joining.
yes.
And I'm really excited for the solo campaign. I'm gonna be definitely playing that. Hey, how's it going? Um, when I get the physical copy, that's something that I want to be doing when I get my physical copies. So
Yes.
nice.
Okay, so let's talk about the draft. This is a three-pile draft, and for those of you who played Magic the Gathering, it's also known as the Winston draft. And the idea is that we have this big deck of cards over here, which has all of the Worldbreakers card in it. So all the cards in the game are just shuffled into one big pile. And we're going to start by shuffling it and opening three piles, which are numbered 1, 2, and 3. Then each player on their turn is going to look at all of the cards in the first pile. And I'm saying all of the cards because right now there's only one of them, but as the draft progresses, there's going to be more.
Okay.
And the easiest way to do that in Tabletop Simulator is by clicking Alt and Shift at the same time. That's going to show you what's in the deck. And then for that first pile, you can decide whether you want to take it or leave it. If you take it, you put it in your hand and you open a new card. While if you leave it, then you load up an additional card for that pile and you move on to the next pile.
Okay.
You do the same for the second pile. You either take it or you leave it. Then the third pile, either take it or leave it. And then if you didn't take any of the piles, you take the top card of the deck.
Okay.
And with that, your turn is over. So to recap, you go over the piles. For every pile, you can either take it and finish your turn, or you can add a card and continue to the next pile. And that's pretty much it. We're going to keep doing this until no cards are left. So each of us is going to have between 45 and 50 cards in front of us.
Okay.
And then we build our deck. Building the deck has two steps. The first one, you can pick any of the 4 Worldbreakers that come with the game. And each of these has 3 signature cards that are aligned with them. You add both the Worldbreaker and the signature cards to your stack of cards. Then you pick 30 cards to play with, the Worldbreakers plus 30 cards. That's going to be your deck. And then we're ready to play.
So do the signature cards need to make it into your 30 card deck? It's probably worth it. They're pretty good.
They don't have to.
Okay.
And we had situations in the past when someone dropped 1 or even 2 of their signature cards. The cool things about the cool thing about the signature cards is that they work really well with themselves and with your wall breakers. So
Okay.
even if your draft has gone poorly, you know that at least 3 cards in your deck are going to be synergistic
Okay.
and give you this like baseline of power.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't have to include them. Players sometimes remove the 3 standing one, Worldbreakers has a standing leveling mechanic, which is indicated in the top left of the card. So sometimes players drop the 3 standing one just because they don't want to commit to so much
Yes.
standing.
Okay. Okay. And so one more question about the draft. So if I decide to take the card in the first pile, do we add a second card to pile 2 and 3?
No,
Okay. Okay.
we're only going to add cards to those piles you've seen.
Okay. Sounds great.
Yes. So usually the second pile tends to be the biggest because the first
Okay.
pile, people pick it quickly, and then the third pile is abandoned. So usually the second pile
Okay. Okay. Sounds
tends to
good.
have,
And
yes.
then I'm going to just kind of go over and remember what each one of these. So, one attacking follower gets +1 strength this combat. Marco Polo is who I played. After we play a location, we get to exhaust. Look at the top card of your deck. If it's a follower card, you reveal it and draw it. These are the engineers. Storage 3. Can you remind me what Storage 3
So what
means?
the Muhandasa do, if you draw a location from your deck, you can store it, which means putting it face up next to the Muhandasat and
Oh,
draw
okay.
another card.
Okay.
So they help you draw additional cards by taking locations and setting them aside, and then you can play them as if they were in your hand.
But your opponent, because you're placing them face up, your opponent knows what that is.
Right. And that matters because the Muhandasat's locations can be nasty. So
Yep.
you're giving your opponent a bit of a spoiler. I don't know if it instills fear in their hearts or if it gives them a heads up on what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this is Death by 1,000 Cuts.
Yep, you got it.
Big fan. Okay, sweet. I'm ready.
Cool. So let's roll a die to see who goes first.
Okay.
Do you want to be odd or even?
I will be. I'll go even.
Even. So you go first.
Okay.
And
So Alt Shift, and I get
yep.
to look at this. Okay.
And if you want to take it to your hand, just press 1 and it's gonna jump straight to your hand.
Okay.
And by the way, I know you know this. This is mostly for the viewers who are going to play this themselves.
Okay.
What is the J?
The J.
J. Nelson Oliver?
My first name's Joseph.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
why do you go by Nelson?
I don't know. So my parents named me Joseph Nelson after both my grandparents, but then they wanted to call me Nelson, and so I don't know why they wanted to switch that around. Maybe it was just to confuse all the substitute teachers in my life, but
why
that's
not
what we
Nelson Joseph?
Who knows? Who knows?
So you skipped over the first pile, which means you can add a card.
Okay.
And likewise to the second pile.
Yep. Okay. So I will take this.
Okay.
I forgot that I don't get to look at all of them. And okay. Yep.
Yeah, you go good. One at a time, and
Yep.
for each one, you make the decision: do I take it or do I skip?
Okay. Sounds good.
It's meant to be quick and casual. I'll take this pile.
Hey, Magic Moose Move. The J is silent. Yes.
The J is silent.
The J is silent. Oh, and when you take the pile, you take the entire stack?
Yes, you take the whole thing.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so
once you decide on your track, it's gonna go pretty quickly.
Right.
And I'm gonna stop alt-tabbing into the stream because I'm cheating. Sorry about that.
Yeah, come on. I'm just kidding. So I know at least one of the cards that you have.
Yes, you should know one of them.
Okay, I'll take this.
Yeah. I know nothing about the cards in your hand, but I will take this.
Okay.
And you will discover what this is when I play this against you.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I'm just like thinking about the different combos. Like how each one of these, if you pair them, right? I'm looking to go like dual sphere just for your knowledge, and then also for the viewers, because I've heard that that's kind of, I don't want to try my luck with try or even four, and And I call it sphere because of Lord of the Rings. What is the correct
Mm-hmm.
term?
Guild.
Guild. Okay, so I'm gonna go with a dual guild type deck, and I'm just like looking at all of these. Like all of these seem fun as a pairing. Like
Mm-hmm.
they
Yes.
all seem pretty cool. So I think I am going to. Let's. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna see
Sure.
this one.
So just remember when you move on, you add a
Add
card.
a card.
Yep.
That's correct. Okay, I will take these cards.
We actually had a nice discussion in the Discord about 4 guild decks.
Oh,
And
really?
and someone said, "Oh, when the expansion comes up, maybe we can have 4 guild decks." And I answered with, "You can have 4 guild decks right now." And everyone's like, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I'll take this. Why not?
Okay.
I'm actually having a naming issue with one of the cards.
Oh.
So this guy, the name is a placeholder. He's not going to be called an Earth Guild Executor. And thematically, this is a Mongol person, and he's making a drink called kumis, which is made out of fermented mare's milk.
Okay.
And he looks so happy. I wanted to call him Jolly something. And then one of
Yeah.
the players said, "Oh, because he's Santa Claus." I'm like, "Oh gosh, okay, I need a different name." And yeah, I don't know how to call him. So if you have any suggestions,
Two. Okay, we're gonna move on over here. So we're gonna add a card.
yep.
Go boom. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. But not what I wanted. So okay. Do I put a card there?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay.
I'll take this.
Cool.
It was easy.
I'll take this.
That was also easy. Yeah, that's a good card. So you see, oftentimes the first pile, you just look, you take it. So
Right. Yes.
it's also interesting because I have no idea what you've taken from the first pile. So
Right. Yeah. We'll add here. We'll take these.
oh, I can definitely skip this one. Yeah, I can skip this one as well. Ooh, I'll take this. Did any of us reach the third pile this game? I don't think we did.
I have taken a third. I've taken
Oh, you did?
2/3. I've taken 2/3. Yes.
Okay.
So we've got. I don't think. I think there's one guild we're both kind of avoiding.
Yes. I'm gonna add a card for the pile you skipped.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's unusual that Marco Polo is shunned. Usually he's a fan favorite.
I'm gonna take these. No,
So what are you playing? I have no idea.
I don't either. So that makes.
Oh,
total
at this point, this is too much stuff
Yeah.
for me to pass on. It's just a big pile of 4 cards. I'm gonna take it.
I'll take that.
I started with a plan, but that plan is not gonna materialize.
I am right there with you.
This is a good card, but not exactly what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on all of them and just let's see what the top of the deck gives me. That works. Thank you,
Okay,
top of the
nice.
deck. You've served me well.
Yeah, those are coming into my hand.
Ooh, that's good to know. Finally, I know something about your deck. Not
That
much, but
that was literally just me trying to throw you off.
okay. Now I'm ready to take these. And yeah, I think this is not going to happen. So one of the things I've been doing to stay organized, any cards you don't see playing, I just flip them and put them here.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll get that out of there.
Ooh, that's a big pile.
That is a big pile.
Are you going with the deck or taking one of these?
I think I'm gonna take these.
Okay. I'll take this. I have 2 excellent half decks in my hand.
Well, that makes up for my 4 or quarter decks.
Quarter decks.
Yeah, we'll take this.
I'm not going to take it just because I want to see if you take it.
Now that's interesting.
Now it's a mind game. Maybe
It
you
is a
want to
mind
take
game.
it, but you don't want me to know you want it. So one of the strategies players have been talking about in the Discord is just taking all the good cards you see, no matter the guild. And usually what this means is your opponent is going to get all the mediocre cards, no matter the guild. And someone was saying, oh, I was playing the game, and both of us had about an equal amount of cards of each guild, but my opponent's cards were just better.
Right.
Yeah, I think I can skip this one. I can definitely skip this one. Sure. I'll skip it as well. Top of the deck again. It did not serve me this time, sadly. I have spun the wheel and came up short.
Alrighty. I don't like that. I don't like what that's paired with.
Yeah, I was not super excited by that either.
We'll add.
I thought you were gonna take it.
Okay, yeah, we'll take this lot.
You're into that? Mm-hmm.
I am into that. Yes.
Oh, I'll take this.
Oh, well, that seems mean.
Mean or meme?
Mean.
Mean. Oh, and you took it.
I did. I
Oh,
didn't want
no.
you to have it.
I'll take the first pile.
I like this. I like this way of drafting. I've never tried this before.
Yeah, I never heard of it. And then Jamie, the rules manager for Worldbreakers, pointed out. And it's really fun, especially for 2 players. It just flows really quickly and
Back and forth. Very, yeah.
And it doesn't have the memory burden of a traditional draft where you really have to memorize everything and it's complicated. I'll take these 2. I think you're gonna take that pile.
I think probably that's a good assumption.
Yeah.
I
Space.
I without giving away too much, of I'm kind of afraid of what I've been drafting.
Afraid in a positive way or
I
in
don't
a
know.
friend way of what will I do? This is doomed.
What will I do? This is doomed.
Oh no.
Sort of way.
So I'm next. I'm
Oh, I'm
now.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No worries. But you're gonna see this card in a sec. So the astronomer card that you have,
Yeah.
I was toying with the idea of putting the what's the name? So in Portal 2, there's these memory nodes that connect to GLaDOS,
Okay.
and one of them screams space all the time. So I thought of having a Portal 2 reference there. Easter egg. Okay, I'll take the second pile.
Okay. I'll take this.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's a good pile.
Yeah, I'll take that pile.
Yeah, this is cool. This is a solid card. Not earth-breaking, but solid nevertheless.
Not world breaking.
Not wall-breaking.
It's me.
It's you, you're up.
Okay. Fine. I'll take this.
You don't sound overly happy.
No, no. It's just like it's a card I want. I need. I'm just like I want to see all the cards.
I think you're gonna take the first pile again. I'm done.
That's interesting. So you've seen, well, obviously you've seen this card, but you've seen this pile, the Paragon.
I've seen the Paragon, yes.
Yeah, that's a cool. That's an interesting card, especially with like the 7 life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's pretty cool. I like that. We'll go ahead and take it.
I thought of taking it just so you don't have it because I keep losing games with the Paragon. But decided that, yeah, I won't. Okay, let's leave this. Yeah, I'll take this one.
Josh says
And you're up.
Portal 2 is his favorite video game. Nice.
Oh, maybe I should have included the reference then.
It's me.
Yes.
Also, how do we determine? Okay, sorry. Can we play 2 Marco Polos? Like, is there a unique
Yeah.
rule? Okay. Okay.
No, there isn't. We can play
Okay.
2 Marco Polos.
Okay.
And the game is going to be shipped with 2 copies of each. So
Oh, okay.
that
That's
can
very
happen.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The game is going to be shipped with 2 copies of each Worldbreaker and 2 copies of each signature card.
Very cool.
Skip. Skip. Yep, not my cards. This is not my card either. Oh, this was a weak turn for drafting.
Uh-oh. I'm okay with that. No, I can't. I can't.
Really? But it's awesome. It's the
It
best
is
cards
awesome.
ever.
Oh, I don't like that. Well, that's nasty.
Interesting. What is nasty?
Yeah, we'll take it.
I don't think I saw the nasty card. What is it? I need to know. I'll take this.
Alrighty. No.
That was a quick one.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's
Uh-oh.
exactly what the doctor prescribed.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Not nasty.
No. No.
Keep going, keep going. The top of the deck is exactly what you need. Just
The
pass.
the top of the deck is exactly what I need.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. This seemed pretty good right here. I'm actually gonna take these.
Oh, I don't want these cards, but I don't want you to have them. Am I just gonna be a big meanie about it? I think I will.
Hate draft. Well, this is exactly what I needed. Oh my goodness, I can't ever play that. That's insanity. Oops. +1. Yep. Yep. Okay. No. No.
Very decisive.
Yeah. Yes.
I will skip that. Uh, this is nice.
There's so many cards here.
The Indigo Grotto in particular is a pivotal card because it gives so many points.
Yeah.
It sounds like you stole cookies and you didn't get caught.
Pretty much. Yep. That's exactly what just happened. Oh my goodness. Now I'm just kind of worried about my economy. Like I'm looking at this like I need a way to get Mythium.
You can always spend a click, an action to gain Mythium, like Arkham Horror.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. I feel like I have to write a passage for every Worldbreakers TTS. Aimlessly spam Q and E while trying to read locations. I was saying it on the last stream. I will never click it correctly. If I need to rotate clockwise, I will inevitably rotate counterclockwise. Oh
It's
my
your
goodness.
gift.
Exactly. Yes. Oh my. Okay. Okay. We're gonna stack it.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you didn't take it. I would have felt deep regret if you took it. I loved first-person shooters as a kid. I played a lot of Unreal Tournament back in the day,
Okay.
so I got my E's and my Q's all sketched.
Locked in.
Yes,
Exactly.
into the neural pathways of my brain.
Yeah, we're gonna take this. Thank you.
Yep, I'll take it. I don't even care what this is. I just want it.
Haha! I rotated it correctly that time.
What happened?
I rotated it correctly that time.
Well done.
Yeah, we'll take that. It's a new thing for me that I'm trying out.
Rotating correctly? Or taking that?
Rotating correctly.
Okay, I'm not gonna take anything. I'll take the top card of the deck. Notice we have 3 piles left. So
Okay.
as soon as so you're gonna take a pile, I'll take a pile, you'll take whatever's left, and then we'll be done.
Okay. It's not what I'm doing. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Big fan of that.
You got it. Yeah, sure. I'll take these.
And so I get these guys.
Yep. And that's it. Now you build your deck. You don't have to commit to a Worldbreaker right now. You can take your time
Okay.
and think about it. Unless you
And-
already know what you want. So in which case, just take it. And the deck is going to be 30 cards. Remember, that includes any number of the signature cards.
Correct. Okay. Hoping this is the right call. We'll see. I need like Arkham DB or Marvel CDB. Give my cost curve.
Yes, that's something that we've actually been missing on the channel. Some sort of way to share deck lists and
Okay, so I need to cut 6. Rotating the wrong way.
oh no. This is when I get greedy and try to do stuff that I really shouldn't try to do.
What is a forced rally?
Forced rally means you have to do it during the rally phase, which is at the end of the round.
At the end of the, okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, what a pile of nonsense. I regret everything. I need to cut 9 cards. Oh no. Did you solve it? Are you done? Have you perfected your strategy?
No, definitely not.
No.
Actually, I think I cut one too many cards.
That's a good problem to have. You can add something back.
Yeah, exactly. Is there an easy way to tell how many cards I have in my hand, or do I just count?
There isn't really. You can left click and pick all of them, and then click on G to group them into one pile.
Okay.
So that's one way to do it.
No, just kidding. I still need to cut 2.
Oh, you still need to cut 2? I feel better now.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this isn't good. I like all of these cards though. Seems good. Actually.
So at this point, I'm going to make assumptions about your deck. And these
Okay.
assumptions could be proven wrong.
Okay.
And then you'll crush me like a bug.
Oops. You're taking the Marco Polo?
I'm still thinking about it.
Okay. No. Come back.
What happened?
I dropped him off the table.
Oh no.
And you start with a standing in the guild that your leader is from, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, good. Okay, now just to make sure that... Okay, well, there we go. We'll see how that works.
Okay, I'm playing Cthulhu.
Okay, excellent. And I am playing... Can you help me with the pronunciation of...
Ruknadin
leader?
Kurshach.
Okay, leader of the assassins.
Yes.
So, your attack, you can pay 1 Mythium to exhaust. This deals 1 wound to a follower the defending player controls. So that's an action that I can take during the resolution of one of my attacks and deal a damage to one of your defending followers.
As soon as you declare the attack, you can do that. So
Okay.
you say, I'm attacking, you exhaust the attacking followers, and then you activate this before I block.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Crazy.
So first of all, let's save this before I actually delete everything we've done.
That'd be so sad.
Man, I am not confident about what's going on with my deck.
Well, that makes 2 of us, so it'll be fine.
So this is your stuff, right? Let's group it.
Oh,
Yep.
phew. It is 30 cards. Thank goodness.
Yes. And
so it seems to be a very aggressive game.
In which way?
The 2 leaders that we chose.
Yes, we'll see what happens. I'm experimenting with something new, and I have some regrets. I have some regrets about my experiments. So we'll see how it goes for us.
Oh man, I am so ready. I'm so
yes, ready. Let's do it. Once again, odd or even?
I'll go even.
Even. Odd. So I will go first.
Okay.
And your starting hand is 5 cards. And we're going to do the Arkham mulligan. So you set aside any cards you don't want.
Okay. And I
and then
over here in void.
So I will set aside 2 cards, draw 2 new cards, and then shuffle the cards I've set aside.
And we start with 5 Mythium?
5 Mythium and 1 standing of your guild, which in this case is Void. Oh, you've already done it. Well done.
Thank you.
And let me know when you're ready.
Seems really good. I'm never gonna turn it the correct way. Okay, so we're gonna mulligan this. I'm excited to. He can protect on any attack. Looking forward to seeing how it goes. We'll see. I don't necessarily know if my playthrough is gonna be what you should use to judge it, but starting with 5. That is expensive. No, that's crazy. Okay, so we'll draw 2. Put these back. Shuffle up. What do we get? Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
I think I'm as ready as I'm ever gonna be. So.
Fair enough. I'm going to play 3 Mythium for an Earth Apprentice. And when she enters play, I gain an Earth standing. And I can pay 1 Mythium to put a +1/+1 counter on her.
Okay.
And I am going to take advantage of that offer. And here is my 3 Strength, 3 Health Earth Apprentice.
Okay. And here's my rules reference over here. So it's 2 Mythium to gain a standing.
Right.
Okay, so. And just a refresh for me, as well as anyone who's watching. We are playing to 10 power, and you get a power whenever there's an undefended attack. And it does not matter what the strength of that undefended attack. It's just 1 power per unit that is undefended.
That's correct.
Okay.
And when you attack... go ahead.
Oh, and the other ways to get power are printed locations or event cards, but 10 power, look to the end of the round. Or we check for game end at the end of the round, and so we'll each play 4 turns over the round here. Okay. You were going to say something?
It was so long ago, I forgot.
That's right.
Hopefully it wasn't important.
So I don't want to put this in, because then I just lose. So I think...
Defeat on the first turn. This is how fast-paced this game is.
Defeat on the first turn. Yes, exactly. It's the whole Splatter Spellen
yes.
philosophy. If you can't lose on the first turn, why play it? Makes for a very long 3-hour game. That's all I know. I have lost on the first turn of Food Chain Magnate before. It was a long
Oh
day.
my god. Food Chain Magnate is cutthroat.
Yes.
Yes.
It's very, very cutthroat. Okay, so I think I'm gonna grumble. Yeah, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna spend 1, 2 to gain a standing in Moon.
In Moon. That is all?
I believe that is all I can do, correct? That's an action.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my free point. I'm gonna attack.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say no to some free power.
Exactly. Alrighty, so I'm gonna spend. We'll flip this. We're gonna spend 1, 1 to put into play the Peaceful Engineer. So play a location paying 2 Mythium less. So we'll spend 1 Mythium to put into play the Submerged Brilliance. Thank you so much.
I was looking for that. Yeah, we increased the size because one of the players said it's a bit too small to move them around in Tabletop Simulator.
Yep. And so as an action, I can develop this location and take off the highest most.
The top one, yes.
The top one. So the first time I develop, I will draw 2 cards and gain 2 Mythium.
That's correct.
Excellent. Okay.
I will pay 1 Mythium and play an Emboldened Soldier. And when he enters play, if I have at least 3 standing with 1 guild, he gets a bonus, but I do not. So
Okay.
he's boldened. He's not emboldened.
He's bolden, not emboldened.
Yes.
Okay. So you have 1 turn left, and he has 1 attack.
He's going to have 2 if I attack with him because of my bonus.
That is correct. Okay. I forgot about that bonus. And this is to deal 1 wound to a defending player. That may, you know, we may want to do that. And you do not have any Mythium?
I do not have any Mythium. I am poor.
Okay, so we are. I went with the die by 1,000 cuts, and I'm not cutting.
It's okay. You can build some econ.
Yeah. So I think that's what we are gonna do. Is we are going to develop here.
Mhm.
So that is draw 2 cards and gain 2 Mythium.
Money is good.
Money is good.
And if you're done, you can move this.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I am going to attack again and put +1 strength on him.
Okay, so we will defend.
Okay, so I'll take 1 wound, and your Peaceful Engineer is defeated. This card is face up, so
Thank you.
you're up.
Round end, or here we go. That's it. Check.
Yes, that's the rally phase.
abilities. Check for victory. Ready followers. Gain 2 Mythium. Draw a card. Flip player order. Sweet. Okay. Okay. So what is it? What I'm on the wheel.
You're on the wheel.
That's the term. Okay.
Yes.
That is good to know. So I do wish that I had. Okay, so we will. We're gonna spend 2
Mm-hmm.
to play the Desperate Miner.
Okay.
And I want to bring him back a little bit because here's my combat area.
And they're going to immediately trigger because it's
Yep.
the rally phase.
So deal 1 wound and gain 2 Mythium. So he paid for himself.
And then the rest of the rally phase. So you gain 2 Mythium and draw a card.
Is a successful attack considered gaining a power?
Successful attack means that at least 1 follower was not blocked.
Okay.
Yeah.
No reason.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend, exactly. So we are going to spend 1 Mythium
Mm-hmm.
to play Vicious Stab. So deal 2
Nice.
wounds to a follower. If this defeats that follower, gain 1 standing with any guild. So I'm going to kill here.
She has 3 health. She has the +1/+1 counter.
Oh, you're right. So I will kill here.
Okay. Poof.
and I get a standing with any guild. We'll go here.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
You took a void standing. Okay.
Should
I'm just
put that
gonna
up first.
attack. Do you regret some sequencing decisions?
Yeah, I do.
That happens surprisingly often.
Yes, I'm sure. Good morning. How you doing, Infinite Nutshell? Okay, so I need to just put her on the table. Come on, Nelson. What are you doing? And she's attacking for a 3/3, correct?
4/3. She's using the
4/3.
+1 from Cthulhu. Yes.
Okay. Good. 4/3, and she still has 3 health.
She still has 3 health. That's correct.
Okay. We'll let you have that.
It also means I damage your location.
Oh. Just kidding. Okay. I will defend.
Okay. I take 1 wound, and you are up.
I am up. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is spend... we'll go 3 Mythium to play here.
Oh, yeah. You could have played her before the Vicious Stab.
Yep.
Yep.
I was just looking at the Vicious Stab and like, oh, cool. That's a way to negate you getting an extra money. But
All done?
Yep. So, yep. I'll never remember it.
I will play Compassionate Ascetic, and I was hoping she's going to get a +1/+1 counter, but my Emboldened Soldier is surprisingly absent. So
it's crazy.
I know. You think you can trust someone, and they just totally flake on you. Just because they're dead.
Just because they're dead.
Yes.
How dare they? Well, I really don't want you to kill.
This is totally #first world problems.
Okay, so pay 1 Mythium. This deals 1 wound to a follower the defending player controls. Oh, I'm out of money. Uh-oh.
You have 1 money. That's times infinity the amount of money I have.
That's fair. I'm just out.
You're the top 1% in this game.
Exactly. We're going to develop. So gain 1 power and 1 standing with any guild.
Which one will it be?
We are going to go Moon.
Okay. And that means your Netty Matron triggers and you draw a card.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why I wanted to do that.
I'm just going to attack because that's what I do. And the aesthetic has 3 strength.
3 strength. I'm definitely going to need to defend here because that's a swing of 2.
Okay. So they're both defeated.
Okay.
Keeping the board clean and tidy.
Yeah, exactly.
So just a
Hmm.
reminder that I'm going to wheel at the end of this round.
Yeah. So if you
So
can play and then attack, that's not exactly what I'm excited about.
yeah, so the Earth Apprentice is going to ready.
Ready. Yeah.
So unless you want, I mean, it's possible the Netty Matron sacrifice was in vain, but if you don't play a follower or remove this token, I will just destroy it at the beginning of next round.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think the move here is to go ahead and just develop this location because, well, you don't have any Mythium. Are there any zero cost followers in the game?
No,
Okay.
there's no
Okay.
zero cost followers.
So I know that you're only going to be able to attack with one because of your Mythium over here. So with that being known, I'm going to develop
That's a power.
10% closer.
I will draw a card.
Okay.
And that's the round. So 2 Mythium and the card.
In before gratuitous gift.
Sorry?
Green Rose said, "In before gratuitous gift."
Oh, actually, they're right. I forgot that there is an event that gives you a 2 Mythium discount and a follower.
Oh,
But I
okay.
know you have it, and I know I don't have it because we drafted all the cards. So I will play the Pride's Keshik, and she says that whenever she attacks, she gains one of these +1/+1 counters. And also she has an ability called Overwhelm, which says that when she defeats a blocker, I gain 1 power.
Not the biggest fan of that. Seems really
She's going to
vague.
grow. What will it be? Nelson with a silent J.
Nelson with the silent J. Nelson with the silent J. We are. I think I'm in a bad spot. Everybody. Um. Hmm. So it's gonna be a 2/2.
I'll be really sad if you're just going to kill her.
I, I don't know how long she's gonna stay out there. We're gonna go ahead and just play.
You do kill her! Oh, come on!
So we'll go ahead and hit here.
Okay, she's gone.
Yeah.
She is gone. And so is all of my money. I will draw a card.
Okay. We will. We'll play here. Gain 2 Mythium.
Okay. I will. I'll just take a Mythium.
Okay. See you, Josh. Have a good one.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this Earth Apprentice is gonna hurt. Because she's attacking for. She will be a 4/3 if she attacks.
Yes, when she attacks, she's going to get the counter. She's going to have 4 strength and 2 health because she has a wound.
Not a fan. Not a fan of that. I have 2 turns. You only have one. You have one power.
Jay Walton was saying how he's gonna have the stream running in parallel to church. I thought he literally meant that he's gonna be in church with like an earbud, listening to the stream.
That'd be great.
Like I don't know which church you're going to, but that's one awesome church, and
Yeah.
I might join as a believer.
Yeah. That's pretty great. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna probably be in trouble here. I have two. We are going to draw a card.
That works. I'm gonna take my free point. Oop. So I attack. There's no blockers. I gain 1 power. And it's back to you.
I like this card. Seems like a good card. It's a good card.
Does it kill my follower again?
Yes.
I just want to point out you've used your Eldritch powers to nuke 2 of my followers already. So
So lay
one
off.
one has been stabbed and the other was electrocuted.
Yeah. I need.
Well, I've been playing fair here. A decent
have been
day's
playing fair.
wage for a decent day's work.
I'm going to take a Mythium.
Okay. Ready phase. Ready your followers. Gain 2 Mythium. Draw a card. And this flips. And you go first.
Okay, so I'm going to spend 5
Mm-hmm.
to play here. So that says that I'm always going to flip it the wrong way. When it enters, damage this to defeat a follower. So I will defeat this follower.
Okay.
And oops. And we go 1, 2. Damaging is just removing the top, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Okay. This is the 3rd follower that you've pretty much nuked from orbit.
Pretty much, yep.
I'm going to play the Amu River Armor for 3 Mythium. And when she enters play, I'm going to migrate. So I have a choice. I can either gain another Earth standing, or I can spend an Earth standing for a bonus. I am going to spend an Earth standing to gain 3 Mythium and build a nice piece of armor.
Oh, wow.
To the lonely armor. She's going to wear it herself. Because everyone else is dead.
That may be my fault.
I hear no guilt or remorse in your voice.
Absolutely none. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of the deck that I have constructed for myself.
Oh no.
Well, I don't
That's so
know
sad.
I don't know if that's true. I very quickly forgot all the cards that I put in my deck.
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, like every card game, there's an advantage in playing more and knowing the card base better.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Always
yeah.
took it for game 2. Very good point. This is game 1. That is correct. So what we're going to do. Also, I have not used the ability over here at all. Need to remember to do that.
Yeah, you just need a follower and to attack.
So I think what we're going to do is... Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. Um, I think I can safely draw a card here. And you're up.
We are going to... We will... I need more money. I need more money. Okay, so...
Oh, you're gonna play something, it seems like.
Well, maybe. Actually, I think it's probably better. I'm going to spend one to develop here.
Okay.
So that allows me to draw a card and gain a power.
I do want to point out that this is the opposite of gaining money. This was spending money.
I'm well aware at this point. Yep.
I didn't think you're gonna do that. I thought I have time, so I'm just gonna have to attack now to drop that final piece.
Yeah.
And you're up.
Okay, so I will gain a Mythium.
Okay. And I will draw a card, and that's the end of the round. So,
Okay.
ready your followers, gain 2 Mythium, draw a card, and flip this. And I just drew this, so I'm going to play it. I will play a dirty attack. It costs me 2 Mythium, and it allows me to attack. And if the attack is successful, which it is, I will gain 5 Mythium. Econ!
I'm going to spend 2 to go to 3 and void.
Interesting. Oh, okay. I will... I'm not super happy about what's going to happen here. But I don't think I have much of a choice about it, so... I'll just let you do your thing. And make more money. I'll play Mythium Fund,
9
which
Mythium.
gives me...
Oh my goodness.
Costs 5, give me 9, so it's a net 4. Am I going to have a sneaky woman bashing my head now?
Yeah. So we'll spend 2 Mythium to play Rogue with Initiative. So you may attack with 1 follower. When that combat ends, you may attack with 1 follower again. So I don't get to activate that, but I do get to immediately attack, correct?
Yep. And you get 1 power. Nothing I can do about that. And if you had another ready follower, they would be able to attack as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're both playing very conservatively. This game would be very different if you're letting each other have power a little more.
Yes. I will pay 2 Mythium for stars standing.
Okay.
Time we finally use the second guild.
We'll gain a Mythium.
Okay. I will pay 5 for a generous dealer. And she says that my location and events cost 1 Mythium less.
Okay. I'll take a Mythium.
Okay. So it's the rally phase. And we ready our followers, gain 2 Mythium, draw a card, and flip this. So you go first.
It is programmed into me that I'm not gonna flip these the correct way.
Are you still rotating the wrong way? So one thing you can do, you can just unbind the wrong one.
Yeah.
just amputate. That's the
Exactly. Yes.
Now I'm becoming more and more violent. Like, get a screwdriver and just rip that key off the keyboard.
Pretty much. Yep. Okay.
That happens all the time. When you look at YouTube videos of people playing, it happens all the time. It's fine.
Just making everyone super dizzy. Okay. So what I want to do.
Right, because if you go the wrong way, you already start in that direction. You just rotate 3 more times in that way.
Yeah. And when I activate the ability to deal a damage, do I pick who the damage goes on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's the big difference from Cthulhu. You choose which follower takes the 1 damage.
That makes sense. And so a response. Okay, so this was just says after combat ends, so that's basically a fast action.
If it's an event, it usually starts with attack, which means you play the event, you attack.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I can't combo that with like a second event. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. Unlike other games, there is no responses, like there's no surprise cards you can play. Right. Everything is telegraphed.
Yep. That makes sense. Okay, so what we are going to do is spend 3 Mythium to play Serendipitous Witness. So the first time each round a follower is defeated, including this, we gain a Mythium.
Yep. And I'm just going to take this.
Oh, yeah.
I will pay 2 Mythium for a Mothkeeper. And she's stationary, she cannot attack. And she says that the first time I gain power each round, I also gain 2 Mythium.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Is she going to face an untimely death?
No, probably not. I'm just
okay.
I'm looking to see. So she can't attack, but she can defend.
Yes, she can defend, and when she defends, she deals wounds equal to her strength. In this case, it's 1 strength.
Right. So I am. We haven't attacked all game. Let's attack. And then
Okay.
I'm going to spend this Mythium
Mm-hmm.
to deal a damage. I determined this now before you declare defenders. I think
Right, you choose
obviously.
now.
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to. One, two, two, and she's a 3. We will deal 1 damage here.
Okay, so my armor takes 1 wound. I'm going to block the Rogue Vision Initiative using the armor. So they trade.
And then I
And
get a Mythium, correct?
No, wait. I can keep going.
Oh, but for
Oh,
the.
yeah. You get a Mythium.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
you get a
Okay.
Mythium. I thought you said power. You get a Mythium.
Okay. No.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And the Mothkeeper is going to block the Witness. So
Okay.
she takes 2 wounds, and you take 1 wound.
Take 1 wound. Yep.
And also, because you use Kurshak's ability, he exhausts. You can't use him
Okay.
again this round.
Correct. Got it. Yep.
And I will attack as well with my generous dealer. She's throwing a book at you. And I will gain 1 power, and that will trigger the Mothkeeper. So I gain 2 Mythium.
And you just got a economy over there going, don't you?
I hope so. That's the plan.
I'll gain a Mythium.
I will play Inspirational Vision, and usually it costs 2 Mythium, but I have the generous dealer, so it's just going to be 1 Mythium.
Cool.
And I'm going to choose location. So I'm going to flip cards from the top of my deck until I find the location.
Now I get to see your entire deck.
Yes. I did put locations in here, right? Okay, here's one. The Den of Sabers. And I can play this paying 2 less. And I also have the generous dealer discount. So I can play this for just 1 Mythium.
Very cool.
And that is it. You're up.
So I will. So efficient, discounts for days. Yep. Yeah, so I'll spend 2 to play. Oh wait, no, that's not a. Oops, that's not a person. You didn't see that. Just kidding.
Yeah, I have no idea what just happened.
We're gonna keep this money, and and we are going to. We'll get another money.
Okay. For my final trick, I will play a Mongol Quartermaster.
Uh-oh.
And when he enter plays, I can migrate. And in this case, I'm just gonna gain an Earth Standing.
Okay.
And that is the round. So we ready our followers, gain 2 Mythium, and draw a card. And I'm going to start. So I'm going to develop the Den of Sabers to gain 1 power. And that triggers my Mothkeeper. So I gain 2 Mythium.
Nice. Very nice.
And you're up. You have a nice chunk of cards in Mythium right now.
I know.
So
I just don't know what to do with them.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
Me too. Me too. And you are sitting at 5 power.
Yeah, we're pretty close, right? 5-4.
Oops. I need to non-exhaust over here. Well, someone has been feeding all my followers remotely.
That's me.
Okay, that makes sense.
Answering Infinite Nutshell comment about how conservative we are here.
Okay, so we're gonna attack.
Okay.
We're gonna spend 1 mythium
Yes.
to damage here,
No, the Moth Keeper. She
which
just wanted to tend her cocoons.
which gets me my mythium back from
Yes.
this ability.
And I will avenge the Moth Keeper with the Generous Dealer. So I take 2 wounds and deal 2 damage.
Okay.
And then I will develop the Den of Sabers for an Earth Standing and a card. And you're up.
We will play the Saboteur.
Okay.
Okay.
I just gave my breakfast order. Okay, cool. Oh, and again, Kushach exhausts because he
Yes,
used his
thank you.
ability.
Thank you.
So I will play a Heatless Investor for 1 Mythium. And when he enters play, if I control a location, which I do, I will gain 3 Mythium.
Okay. I am going to spend 2 mythium
Mm-hmm.
to play Tunnel of Shadows.
That's the one you flashed for a sec, right?
Yep. So
Okay, that's nasty.
I will attack here. So Tunnel of Shadows states that I would attack with 1 follower. It cannot be blocked this combat. So that's 1 here. So that gives me a power.
Yep.
And then does it damage the location or no?
It does, yes.
Okay.
I'm very sad about this.
I was waiting for you to uncover that 3rd tier for that location.
That sucks. And also you hit with the element Saboteur, so I need to discard a card.
Oh, yes.
I don't wanna. I've been curating this beautiful hand for several turns now.
Well, I'm sorry to mess that all up for you.
No, you're not. You're
I know.
delighted.
I'm absolutely not upset at all.
Okay, I'm just gonna lose the free money. I'm gonna discard this straight to the source. That sucks. I'm so sad. I mean, I am going to attack now instead, so I will gain my 2 power, but I wanted to keep that location.
So you're at 7.
Yep, and you're at 5.
I'm at 5.
So if I still had this in play, the bottom step is 2 more power. I was counting on that, so sadly, I'm gonna find another way to win the game.
What's the score right now? It's hard to see which way up. It's 7-5.
Yep.
Okay, so I think I am going to draw a card.
Okay, ready phase. Ready our followers. Gain 2 Mythium. Draw a card. And you go first.
I do go first. I do go first, and I don't like seeing 3 over here.
Are you gonna kill them?
I wish. I really wish I could. The story says that you can win by making your power tokens bigger than your opponents. Good tip. It's good to know. It's good to know. I'll keep that in mind.
Especially with Tabletop Simulator, you can always flick them. So here we go. Bam.
That's great. That's great.
Sorry about that. Let me tidy it up.
Yeah. Does that do a wound? I think it does, yeah. So I need to place it.
That's the expansion. In the
Oh, that's the
expansion, we're gonna,
expansion. There's a dexterity
yeah.
element to it. I love
Yes, exactly, yes.
it. Okay, so
That's totally a Fantasy Flight thing to do.
yeah.
You're gonna release an expansion. It's gonna have 7 different options. One of them is gonna add a dexterity element to,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
yes, to an otherwise strategic game.
Oh man, we're gonna gain a mythium. I don't like how many turns I've spent gaining mythium.
Yeah, I think he had some sequencing
Yeah.
issues early on, and they've really been compounded by the rest of the game, which is
Yeah.
tricky. I will call to arms. So
Oh.
I'm going to reveal cards from the top of my deck until I reveal 2 follower cards. I'm going to draw them, and then I can play one of them. So, not a follower. This is 1 follower, and this is the 2nd follower. So I will draw both of these, and then I will pay 3 Mythium to play one of them, the Star's Apprentice. She gives me 1 star standing, and she says I can play a location card. Sadly, I don't have one, so I won't. Also, I'm really sad because I just nerfed this card, and now I'm suffering from the nerf.
What was the nerf?
Before she said that if you don't play a location, you can draw a card.
Oh, okay.
But I don't play a location and I don't draw a card, so that sucks.
Okay, so in order to not lose the game, I'm gonna spend 3 to play the Swift Messenger. Gain 1 standing with any guild. We'll go 3 in the moon. So is 3 the highest guild requirement on a card?
3 is the highest guild requirement on a card, yes. Every guild has different ways to deal with excess standing.
Okay.
So the Earth Guild can spend it to gain bonuses with migration. Polo has cards that scale the more standing you have, and there's no upper limit on them. So one of his cards give you a discount for every standing you have. If you have 7 standing, it's going to be a 7 discount. And the Muhandisat, they have an ability called Full Moon. So there's cards that say if you have 4 moon standing, they're going to get amplified.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. And Kurshak is just really bad at gaining standing, so it's very unusual to see more than 3 voice standing. Okay. There's going to be some attacks happening here, I think. Let's attack with the Quartermaster, and let's attack with the Star's Apprentice, and we'll give her +1 strength.
She's attacking for 3.
Yep.
5.
First of her name, she's going to attack.
And this is a +1 strength, not a +1 health. I guess it doesn't
That's
matter.
correct.
It doesn't.
She still has
really.
1 health.
We'll block here.
Okay, I'll take 1 wound.
And I will take 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's power. That's not wounds. And we'll let you have that one.
Okay, so I gain 1 huge power.
1 huge power.
And that is it.
And he gets to come back here.
She.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My cards cost too much, and I don't have ways to get money.
Oh no.
That's the cost curve. So like if I was going to modify this deck, I would definitely work with that. And I think I tossed a couple of cheaper cards, and I think just playing through it, it's like okay, like I can see where that can
So
that can be really beneficial.
if you're up for another game, after this, we can go back to deck construction. You can tweak your deck.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll take a Mythium.
Okay. I will play 3 Mythium for 10 Grease Cavalry. And they have 6 strength, 2 health, and overwhelm, which means that
Oh,
if they
jeez.
defeat a blocker.
Yep. So that's game.
That's it. I'm just going to attack
Yeah.
my next round. Yep. Well played.
Yep. Well played.
So just a tip
Yeah.
for the early game. These 2 followers, you want to keep them alive as long as possible.
Right.
So imagine if the Desperate Miner survive for just 2 more turns, that's 4 more Mythium.
Right. Yep.
And the Netimatron, probably 1 or 2 more cards. So it's okay to take some lumps in the early game if you get more out of these followers, just because the economy is really strong.
Yep. Nope, that makes sense.
So let's go back to the draft.
Okay.
And you're welcome to tweak your deck if you so choose.
Yeah.
And I'm going to think if I want to tweak my deck in any way.
And during the deck tweak, are you allowed to switch your master, your guild master?
Your Worldbreaker? Oh, yeah, certainly.
Worldbreaker. Yeah, okay.
Yep. Just remember to take out all of the signature cards.
Which can be determined by, there's a star at the top.
Yeah, there's going to be a purple star in the top left. For Ruknadin Kurshach, they're called the Right Hand, Alamut Castle, and Tunnel of Shadows. Are you switching to do Muhandasat?
I don't know. I think I don't know if the switch is strategic or fun.
Yeah, either way works. And they do give you a lot of cards over the game, assuming you have the locations in your deck. So,
and that's
cards
the
are
thing
good.
is I don't actually know if I have. I don't really think I have enough locations in my deck to really.
Based on what I've seen, I'm pretty sure you do. You only need something like 6 to make it worth it. Okay, and if you have 8 or 9, then
2, 3,
it's a slam dunk.
4, 5. I have 5.
They bring their own location. They bring,
6.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's try it.
So I think strategically it might make sense.
Okay, so Infinite Nutshell says that that early on, a cool play with during an early wheel, I had a clear board and could drop Saboteur on turn 4 and then Stupefy on turn 1. Which one's Saboteur? Stupefy is discard 3 card, or reveal and discard 1 card, and then the Saboteur discarding a card. Oh yeah, that would have been dirty.
Oh yeah, if you hit both of these, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would have been dirty.
I want to add 1 card, but I don't know what I'm going to remove. I think I can remove this. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
And for the record, I just hydrated. So thank you, Infinite Nutshell,
Yes.
for the reminder.
Just looking through, what are my really expensive cards? Rogue with Initiative. It's not expensive Mythian, but it's expensive Standings. Okay, so I think I'm going to take here. I want to think about that 3 standing moon event.
Is someone coaching you from the chat?
Maybe, I don't know. It could be happening. Who knows? I'm over here.
I just want to point out when you end up drawing the three moon instead, the three moon event, and you can't play it, you'll know whom to blame. So
Exactly, yes. Paragon, it's gonna be hard to play with my deck. I didn't say to run it. I said to think about it. Seems kind of fun. Johnny Dice, hey gang, I'm liking the win condition for this game. A race to 10 points cuts down on bookkeeping and makes each attack important. Yeah, absolutely. It's so back and forth. It's so quick. It's so like, just it's a nice flow to the game. I totally agree.
and it's very easy to see who's winning.
Yeah.
Some card games, the board state can become pretty complex, especially when you try to tie it to the win condition. And I think the viewers saw with our game, the board was pretty empty. There was a lot of back and forth, and followers were entering and leaving pretty quickly.
Right. Yeah.
So trying to keep the board complexity down.
I think kind of like that. Sort of. I feel like the Paragon is a rabbit hole that I don't necessarily want to fall down. I will gain 1 power and lose 9. It will be just trying to keep everyone alive. I feel like he works a lot better in probably like a mono moon deck, mono guild deck.
That's the Paragon?
Yes.
Oh,
Like
she as well.
Yeah, she. So there are scholars outside of the Moon Guild.
Yes, there are.
But she won't activate unless I have probably like 4 scholars on the table. So I don't think that's gonna be worth it. So I think we're good. I think we're good with this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When you get her early in the draft, you can prioritize scholars. And there are quite a few of them. So Every faction has at least one.
Okay. Okay, every faction has at least one. That's good. I need to cut a card.
Just shuffle the deck, pick one at random.
Just toss one. It's gonna
Yeah.
be fine. That seems really good. I'm gonna go here. Okay. Made a mess
Are
of
you
the
ready?
table. Yeah. Oops.
This is the deck, right?
Correct.
30 cards, and here's the Worldbreaker. Okay, let's move to the game. Here you go.
Thank you.
Which one of these is your deck? Okay, this is your deck.
Not that one. I hope.
If you draw a bunch of Earth cards, you'll know you're in the wrong deck.
This is. I was not expecting this to be like. I didn't think I put that many Earth cards in there.
Odd or even?
Let's go even.
Even. Staying consistent. Odd.
Yes.
So I will go first. And again, reminder for the people at home, the mulligan rule is you can set aside any number of cards. And then you draw replacements.
Storage 3 isn't a sentence.
Storage doesn't... Sorry, go ahead.
Or Infinite Nutshell is asking where the period came from. Storage 3 is not a sentence. So I think they want to remove the period from the ability description here.
Got it. I will leave it to them.
So I'm assuming that their ability does not trigger during the setup phase.
It doesn't.
Okay.
And it's pretty common to mulligan away all of your locations in the opening hand.
Yeah.
Just so you can later draw them and trigger the ability.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I will mulligan 2 cards.
I'm going to do 4.
4? Oh, wow.
Had a couple of locations in there and a lot of void cards.
Yeah, that's not right.
So, wanted to not start out with those.
I am going to be super original. I will play the Earth Apprentice.
Ooh, I haven't seen this one before.
An Earth Standing, and then paying 1 for a +1/+1 counter.
Nice.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we will spend 3 to play the Moon Apprentice, and I get 1 Moon Standing. But I don't get to draw a card because I don't have 3. So Infinite Nutshell just checked. It is your fault.
It's my fault?
For the period, apparently.
Why is it my fault? Oh, it is my fault. Yes, they're right. It is my fault. Because the almost all of the cards are generated through a script, and the script reads a spreadsheet that Jamie works on. The exception is the Worldbreakers. The Worldbreakers are generated in Adobe Illustrator manually by me. So this is 100% my fault.
Okay.
No argument whatsoever. Yes. I will draw. I want to see what else is out there.
Okay. I will play. I will play Unstable Ore, so gain 2 Mythium, and then because I do own a Scholar Follower, I get to
Nice.
take an additional action. Yeah, I thought that was a cool turn. We will thinking. Um, every time I watch the stream on video, I catch something, even if it's just a dot. Okay, so we're gonna play Fortifying Draw.
Mm-hmm.
Play a location card from your hand or from storage, paying 3 Mythium less. So we're gonna spend 2 Mythium to play
Oof, that's a brutal opening.
here. Haha, turned it the right way. So, and I will activate the enter ability. So I will damage this location
Mm-hmm.
to defeat a follower, and I'm going to defeat this follower.
She's gone.
She is gone, and we are here and here.
That was very painful. I will play the Dog Tamer for 1 Mythium, and I will spend an Earth Standing to gain 3 Mythium.
Very cool. Okay.
The March of
And
Death has begun.
this is here. So you've got 1 turn. I've got 2.
Yep, that's correct.
Puppies. Okay. And this is going to be basically a 2-1.
If I choose to attack.
If you choose to attack, that is correct.
Yep.
I'm going to gain a Mythium.
I choose to attack.
I choose to defend.
Okay, so they trade.
Okay. And I will spend 3 Mythium to play
Nice.
Fanciful Astronomer. So the first time I would draw 1 or more cards, draw another card each round.
Yep.
So, okay.
Rally phase. Gain 2 Mythium. Draw a card.
Would this activate during the rally phase?
Yes, it will.
Okay, so I get to draw 2.
Yes, because you haven't drawn any cards yet. That's correct.
Cool. Okay. And we are up to my turn.
Mm-hmm.
We will develop. We're going to spend 1 Mythium to develop here to draw 2 cards and 1 power.
And you haven't drawn any locations, right?
I have not. No.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
What will I do now? I will pay 2 Mythium for a Stars Standing.
Okay. I will develop.
Okay, pay 1 Mythium.
To gain a power.
Mm-hmm.
This is done. And draw 1 card.
That works. I will play the Illicit Bazaar. Also known as Econ. You're up. Econ 101, yes.
And it is hidden, and therefore if I attack, it doesn't get damaged. So
that's correct.
Okay, so I will take a Mythium.
I will develop the Illicit Bazaar, which will get me 2 Mythium and an Earth Standing.
I'll get a Mythium.
I will play Tatar Pillager.
Ah.
And that is the end of the round. So we gain 2 Mythium, and we draw a card. I will attack with Tatar Pillager, which immediately nets me 2 Mythium.
I will not defend.
Okay, so I gain a power. You are up.
I will gain a Mythium.
Okay. Call to arms. So I will flip cards from the top of my deck until I reveal 2 followers. Here is one of them. And here is the other one. And I can choose to play one of them. I will pay 4 and get the Confident Suitor on the table.
Oh, wow.
I noticed that
Seems
he
good.
effectively, yes, I noticed that he effectively attacks once, because whatever happens with his attack, he's gonna go away.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because whether he
Okay.
hits or overwhelms, he's gonna go away.
Yep. That makes sense. Okay. So I will spend 3 Mythium
Mm-hmm.
to play her. So after I gain a
Nice.
standing, draw a card.
I will develop Illicit Bazaar and gain 2 Mythium. Oh, and let me make this bigger.
I will gain 1 void standing,
Mm-hmm.
which allows me to draw 2 cards.
Yep. So the Natty Matron triggers for a card, and then the Fanciful Astronomer triggers for a second card.
And I can play, or I can attach these here.
Yep.
Do we maybe like right there, or where do you usually put them?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So.
Just one. Just one.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Because as soon as you do it, they exhaust, and you draw a replacement card.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a 1 per round thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
It's
Sounds
just
good.
been nerfed. It used to be unlimited, but it was too much.
It was too much.
Yes. I will pay 2 for our friend the Mothkeeper, who
Okay.
didn't fare very well last game. So let's see if she can make it this game.
Let's see. I will play a gratuitous gift.
Mm-hmm.
Play a follower card paying 2 less. And so I will play
Nice.
the Desperate Miner.
That's a great way to finish the round.
Thank you.
Rally phase.
Okay, so I'm going to deal a damage here and then get 4 Mythium.
I will only gain 2 Mythium.
Draw a card.
And you're up.
This is whenever you draw a location. Okay.
Yes, if you've just drawn a location, they've read it, so you can exhaust them again to draw a replacement card.
Okay. Yeah. So we will do that. So. Right there. Draw a replacement card.
Oh, nice.
I really like this because it seems like a really good ability. And also the fact that it's kind of mitigated a little bit because you can see what they are.
Right,
Which is
and
really
that
cool.
goes back to what I've said before. It either instills fears in your opponent or lets them know what's coming, or both.
Right. Yep.
It's especially tricky with the one you've played before, the Volatile Furnace.
Okay.
On one hand, you want to get the extra card. On the other hand, you don't want to telegraph to your opponent that you can just remove whatever they play.
Right.
So
Yep.
I think this
Yep.
one is an interesting decision point.
Okay.
Why are you hovering over my followers?
Don't worry about it. I'm just looking. I'm just curious.
I worry.
I'm just taking in the entire game. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, I do worry.
We probably should. I mean, that's I think that's probably fair.
That game was a bloodbath.
Is there a limit to however many followers you can have?
Nope.
Okay. Decisions. I think. So 1, 2, 1, 2. That probably makes sense. Yeah, why not? Okay, so we're gonna spend 3 Mythium to play the Resourceful Aid.
Nice.
So the first time each round one of your followers attacks alone, gain 2 Mythium. Okay.
All done?
Yes, thank you.
I'm just gonna attack with the Tatar Pillager, which immediately nets me 2 Mythium. And remember, if he hits, I get 1 power and trigger the Mothkeeper.
Don't love that. We'll block here.
Sacrificial Offering. I will take 2 wounds. And that is my turn.
Okay. We will spend 1 to play Novice Cutpurse.
Nice. That's a good move at this point.
Thank you.
Nothing I can do about it. So I will develop the Illicit Bazaar for 2 Mythium.
So much Mythium. Okay, so we will attack with the Novice Cutpurse. So I get to gain 2 Mythium.
Right. This is so bad.
I did get rid of here, which is not great, but like I don't have the ability to bump up my standing. Or when I bump up my standing, I don't get to draw a card, so but it is a fun decision to be made.
Do you have Vicious Stab? If you do, it's gonna suck. Mothkeeper. So the Cutthroat triggers. You gain 2 Mythium and a standing of your choice.
Okay.
And I will play the Star's Apprentice. This time, I do have a location. I will play the Humble Underpass, also known as the Hunderpass by some. And you're up. Do you have it?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. Literally known as a Hunderpass before now.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll spend 1 Mythium to Vicious Stab here.
No, who's being stabbed?
She's a 2/2, so I can block. I don't. Here.
Yeah. He's been stabbed. Sadly. And did you gain a standing of your choice?
Oh. I will go here.
I think that the Star's Apprentice can attack here and get +1 strength.
So she's a 3/2. You can take.
Okay, I will gain 1 power.
Okay.
Rally phase. Ready your followers, gain 2 Mythium, draw a card.
So I draw 2. I gain.
I
don't think I've drawn a card earlier.
Okay.
Like this whole round I never got to because I killed off my
Yeah, you're right.
standing.
You played the thing, you Vicious Stabbed, you attacked.
Yeah.
Let's start by gaining some stuff. So I will develop the Humble Underpass for 2 Mythium and 1 power, and that will trigger the Mothkeeper, giving me 2 Mythium.
I flipped the token which placed 2. I flipped the token which placed 2.
The Miner. They only have a second.
Oh. Yes,
Yep.
Thank you. I was looking for a draw card ability. I was like, I don't remember what token I flipped to draw a card. Okay, nope. Yep. Thank you. Okay, so I have 7. I'm going to spend 4 Mythium.
Uh-oh, that's out of Mythium.
To play the Steelclad Captain. So this has an ability that when I block.
Oh
If I have at least
no.
4 standing, then I get to ready her.
You do have 4
I
standing.
do have 4 standing.
That's not ideal. I will develop the Humble Underpass, which gives me 2 Mythium and an Earth standing. And I am done. You have stuff going on there.
we're I'm thinking through my turns a little bit. We're getting there. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go here. Oh, she cannot attack. Okay. I was like, why is she over there? Paragon might have worked after all. That's fair. 1, 2. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're pretty close to Paragon range.
Right. I really like her ability. Like, I think that this is really interesting. Like, having the 4, getting the benefit for having up to 4 in Moon. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
just think that she's a really cool. She's really, really cool.
She's nasty. She shuts me down right now. So I'm not super happy about that.
Okay, so I will attack here.
Sacrificial offering. Num 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 num. I take 2 wounds. And I will play Tangree's Cavalry for 3 Mythium.
Ah. To remember that I can play these. I'm going to spend 2 Mythium to play the Fledgling Defender.
Nice. That changes the math. I will draw a card.
Okay. I will get a Mythium.
That works. Rally phase. Ready your followers. Gain 2 Mythium. Draw a card. And you go first. What's it gonna be? We are both flush with resources. Man, you have drawn 6 more cards this game.
I'm going to spend 8.
You're gonna spend what?
8 to play this location.
Oh no.
Solomon's Throne. Oh, that's not the right one.
Nelson, I'm sorry.
Oh no! What is this?
Lay siege, defeat, and
Oh
complete a
wow!
non-hidden location.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
So all of these?
So it just gets immediately discarded.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Oof, that's a tough card. Uh-oh. Well, there goes a couple of rounds in planning.
I've actually been keeping it for this. I thought you were gonna play it first. But if you jump straight to the Solomon's Throne.
Yeah, I didn't really realize that card existed. Wow. Ew.
Sorry, I feel guilty.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, well, now what do I do? I will gain a Mythium.
Okay. I will attack with Tangri's Cavalry.
We'll defend here.
Yep, that's what I thought's gonna happen. So you gain 3 Mythium. And you're up.
Did you grab your power from Overwhelm?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm at 4.
There's a little bit more thought that needs to go into what I'm doing now.
Take your time. There's a lot going on. This is a pretty complex board state, so.
I'll spend 3.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Back off. Go here. We got Blood Moon in the draft. I don't know.
I will draw a card. You're up.
If I got it, I did not put it in my deck. Blood Moon.
Oh, that's a question, whether you have Blood Moon? I don't remember. I think you would have remembered. Blood Moon kills everything.
Oh, yeah. No, I did not. I don't have that.
Okay.
I will develop.
Okay.
So 3 cards and 2 Mythium. And I will place this here.
Oh, yes.
Exhausting. And then draw a replacement.
I will play the Den of Sabers for 4 Mythium. And that is the round.
Okay.
So with your followers, gain 2 Mythium, draw a card.
Oh, this is a forced effect too.
Yes. So
Okay.
you have to use it to
Bye-bye.
just keep on digging. They dig, dig, dig.
Oops. Okay.
You did gain the full benefit out of them, so I think you can compare it to last game where you had some Mythium struggles, while
Right.
this game you played an 8 Mythium card, I blew it up, and now you're back to 7 Mythium, like less than a round afterwards. So
Right.
I will develop the Den of Sabers for 1 power, and that triggers my Moth Keeper, so I gain 2 Mythium.
Okay. We're going to spend 2 to play
Mhm.
Crescent Tear. And
Okay,
we are going to defeat here.
okay, they're gone. I will develop the Den of Sabers for an Earth Standing and a card.
Okay.
You're up.
Also, who got the Vandal? That'd be the only source of surprise location hate. To neutral follow or damage location, even if it's hidden. I have that.
Oh, do you play it right now?
No, I don't. Well, I don't know if I included it in my deck, but I drafted it. Infinite
Oh,
Nutshell's
okay.
asking in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're gonna spend. We'll develop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will also develop for 2 power. We had a lot of action, and now everything is winding down. Everyone's like, I'm just gonna sit here and peacefully do my stuff.
Yeah. Right. What's the worst that could happen? Okay. I'm gonna spend 3 Mythium
Mm-hmm.
to play Electrifying Revelation.
Nice.
So either draw a card, return a non-location card from your discard pile to your hand. Um,
3 times.
so 3 times, yep. And I assume you get to see this, right?
Whatever your return, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I am going to get Unstable 1.
Mm-hmm.
Take here.
Mm-hmm.
And the Desperate Miner.
All the economy.
All of the economy.
I will play a Lowly Bard. I'll pay 2 Mythium and I'll gain 5.
Oof.
You're up.
I will play Unstable Ore.
Mm-hmm.
So gain 2 Mythium. Oops. I guess I can just flip this. And because I have a Scholar character, I get to take another turn.
Yep.
And I will spend that 2 Mythium to put a Desperate Miner into play.
Nice.
Okay.
And that miner starts digging immediately because it's the rally phase.
It is the rally phase, so okay. And I believe I drew a card earlier, so I only get to draw 1.
And you go first.
And I go first. So desperate to find Mythium that even being defeated couldn't stop. But wait, there's more.
Are you zapping someone?
I maybe I'm weighing all of my options.
I see you hovering suspiciously above my stuff.
No, of course not. Four.
I don't know why I'm supposed to get these last 3 power.
The goal is to outlast you here. And I'm not quite sure how I get my last 7 power. So okay, we're gonna spend 3 Mythium
Mm-hmm.
to play the
Nice.
pilot here.
That works. I will attack with the Confident Suitor. And notice that whatever happens, he's gonna go away and give me a power. So
Yeah, so it's basically if this gets destroyed or not.
right, that's pretty much it. If you want to throw a follower in his way to avoid the destruction of the Submerged Brilliance. you probably don't want to draw many more cards because if you run out, I start gaining power at the end of the round. So
That's good to know.
it's possible that the astronomer has served her purpose.
Okay, that's actually good to know. Yeah, so then yes,
Yeah.
definitely I will block here.
So I just gain 1 power and 4 Mythium and 2 more from the Mothkeeper.
Oh my goodness, you have so much Mythium. This isn't good.
You're up. I didn't put any of the big locations in my deck because I thought I will either win or lose before I get to them. So
Yeah.
there's no Indigo Grotto in my deck or something to use all this Mythium on.
I will develop here.
Yep.
So that gets me 1 power, 1 card, and a Mythium.
I will play Void Apprentice for 3 Mythium. And when she enters play, I can pay 1 Mythium to deal 1 wound. I will deal 1 wound here.
Where? Oh, here.
On the,
The captain.
progress.
Watch out for 30 to 50 feral hogs in 3 to 5 minutes.
Watch out for what?
30 to 50 feral hogs in 3 to 5 minutes.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure.
I think they're referring to a card, but I don't know which one. Feral hogs. I don't know.
No, we don't know the meme.
I don't know the meme, no.
Okay, I'm going to spend 2 Mythium
Mm-hmm.
to kill here.
Okay. She made a brief appearance, and now she's gone. Forever. I will attack, and I will put a +1 strength on the lowly bard.
Okay, so we will defend here.
Okay, so wait, you take 2 wounds, and you immediately ready.
Oh, so you could defend again?
If you so choose, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's really cool.
Just remember that you get the 2 wounds.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Yep. And then she's attacking for 2, so I'll defend here.
Okay.
And I get 2 wounds. And you get... Nope. Wrong thing.
Yep.
Okay.
And she's ready.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I'm going to play Stupefy
Oh no!
and attack here.
The Desperate Miner can't attack? because they're
Oh.
stationary.
Hmm.
Um, is it time
So,
for the Moth Keeper to leave us?
okay.
Um, no, you're just gonna go in. So you gain 1 power, and you can pick between the Heedless Investor, the Dirty Attack, and the Sploring Brigard. One of these is gonna get discarded.
Taking that one out.
He's out.
Yeah. If gaining 5 Mythium changes the game state for you at this point, I think I've lost. Considering you're sitting here with 13.
I'll play the Raven Armor, and I will use her ability.
Very cool.
Rally Phase. 2 Mythium, draw a card. This flips. And did you wound the Desperate Miner?
Thank you.
So I will play the Heedless Investor for 1, and he will give me an Earth Standing.
I'm going to spend 5
Mm-hmm.
to play here.
Nice. Would you like to attack?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
I will pay 2 Mythium for the Pride's Kashig. And whenever she attacks, she gets a +1/+1 counter, and she has Overwhelm. So when she defeats a blocker, I gain 1 power.
Cool. I will develop.
Okay.
Oops. So gain 2 Mythium and 1 power.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 Mythium, 1 power, and first time you develop a location, draw 1 card, and gain 1 Mythium.
I will attack. Maybe I shouldn't attack with everyone. Yeah, let's attack with the Heedless Investor and the Pride's Kashig. And because she's attacking, she immediately gets a +1/+1.
Okay, so we will defend here at least.
Okay, so this trades. And because of Overwhelm, I gain 1 power. So I'm at 9.
Uh-oh. So I should probably definitely block this. We'll block here.
Okay. So I will take 1 wound. Over to you.
You had 2 attack, right?
I did what?
You attacked with 2.
I attacked with 2 followers, yes. With the Pride's
Alright.
Kashig and with the Heedless Investor.
Did the Heedless Investor have the +1 from?
Yeah, he's the one with the +1 strength.
Okay.
But the attack
Thank
was
you.
not successful. So
Right, but the Desperate Miner died.
yes, they're no longer with us. Sad.
Does she have a +1?
She does. She
Okay.
built a beautiful set of armor, and she's wearing it.
Great. Okay, good. Got one more. Okay, so I'm going to spend
Mm-hmm.
3 Mythium to put in the Serendipitous Witness.
Okay. Do you expect someone to get defeated soon?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack with the Amon River Armorer, who
Okay,
is 4 strength.
so we'll defend here.
Okay, so I take 2 wounds, and you gain 1 Mythium. And you're up.
That's not the first defeat of the round, is it?
Oh, you're right. It's not defeat of the round. Because we already defeated followers before.
Oh, so it doesn't trigger after it comes into play. It's not the.
Because followers got defeated
Oh.
here.
Okay. Gotcha. I just assumed that from the time it entered play.
Yeah. Would that have changed your block?
I mean, no.
Okay.
Okay, well, I will develop
Okay.
2 Mythium.
Would you like to attack?
Yeah.
And yeah, the Mothkeeper can. Here, have a wound.
Thank you.
The one that the Mothkeeper was carrying. Rally phase. Ready your followers. Gain 2 Mythium. Draw a card.
Then do you win now? Because I just exhausted my deck.
No, I'm gonna get a power at the end of the round. And it's only gonna help me win the following round. So
Okay, so okay,
So the way
okay.
this works is during the rally phase, in step 5, if you can't draw a card, I gain 1 power.
If you cannot draw a card. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good.
And we check for victory in step 2. So
Yep.
even if I do gain that power, it's not going to count until the end of the following round. So there's
Gotcha.
still a long way to go.
Okay. Um. We'll spend 1 Mythium to
Mhm.
play here. And I'm not going to activate that.
Okay. I will draw. You're up.
The reason I wasn't going to is I didn't know if he had another follower. And if I activated that, the cheapest location that I could play would be. Okay, so I guess I do have a 2-cost follower. Okay. Yeah, I
Do you
do.
want to activate it? You can activate it. If you can play something if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I'll spend 2. These are very similar.
They are, yes.
to go. Oh, to go here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I drew a card, and it's back to
Now
you.
it's back to me. Yep. I will develop here.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets me 1 power and 2 Mythium.
I do have a follower now, so I will pay 1 Mythium. And because I have at least 3 standing with 1 guild, he comes in with +1/+1.
Okay.
This is really close.
I'm gonna spend 4 Mythium
Mm-hmm.
to play here.
Ah, this is less close now. I will draw a card.
Okay. And bloodshed. Do I choose the wound?
Yes.
Okay.
As long as he attacks alone, you choose who gets wounded.
Okay. She has 1 life left, right?
She has 1 left. The investor has 1 left. And the soldier has 3.
Soldier has 3. Okay. I will attack and kill.
Okay, so she takes 1 wound. I'm not going to block, so you gain 1 power.
Okay. Nope, that's the +1/+1.
So when you play the Stupefy, do you remember what you said about my dirty attack?
The 5. I don't remember what dirty attack does.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to play Yam Operator. And when she enters play, I can play an event card, paying 1 less. I'm going to play Dirty Attack.
Oh, that lets you attack. Okay.
And attack.
Got it. Good game.
Good game. This was super close. This was clutch.
Yeah, Infinite Nutshell. I thought I forgot that this allowed him to attack. I thought it was just a response that yeah.
You don't know the card pool, right? Yeah. Yeah, this was clutch. If I didn't draw these exact cards, I don't think I can win. I'm pretty sure that next turn you just advance, play this, advance, like develop, play this, develop, and you win. So you would be at 11, I would be at 10. So this was really the only out I had in the deck.
Yeah.
This was super close game.
Yeah, this was a really close game. I like this Worldbreaker. This is fun.
Yeah, I think they worked much better for you than Ruknadin for Shah.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Wow, this game was a marathon. I think it's one of the best games I played in a while.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Very cool. Awesome.
Well done.
Well, thank you. Yep. So thank you for coming back on, Elli. Thank you all for hanging out early in the morning. We appreciate it. So if you are curious about this game, you can join our Discord, or you can join Elli's Discord. That they go in talking about Worldbreakers. We have a channel on ours for there we go. There's the website that we just threw up there. Thank you for joining. This is hitting Kickstarter on March 1st. So
right. Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to me about the details of price and excitement and hype around all of that?
Yes. So the Kickstarter is coming on March 1st, and gonna keep it super simple. There's 2 levels. you can just get the game for $30. And that comes with 4 different play modes, the pre-cons, the draft, the constructed, and the solo campaign that we talked about. And there's also some cool stuff you can add on if you choose. There's playmats, there is a deck box, and there's a card doubler that lets you draft with 4 people instead of 2. So if you're really keen on that draft option, and you can get all of the add-ons for $80. So for $80, you can get the game, the playmats, the deck box, and the card doubler.
Well, excellent. Well, I'm really excited for you. Really, I'm right there on March 1st hitting that add to cart button. So looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me for the stream and for all the support with the Discord.
Of course.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming back on. I'm really excited. I got to try out the draft. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Thanks, Nelson.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.